Kelsey, and I'm back after a week. I feel like it's been such a long time. A week seems like a long time to me. But today I'm bringing you a Clockwork Princess review. It's going to be kind of like a little experiment for me because I've only done one other review on this channel, and it was a book on the craft of writing, so it's not really plot-based, and I feel like I'm not always that good at trying to relay what a book is about, so we're going to really try this. But I'm going to have a section in the beginning that's going to be spoiler-free, but it's only spoiler-free if you've read the first two books, because this is the third book in the series, so if you haven't read the first two books, you probably shouldn't be here anyways. But then I'm going to include a section that is spoilery, like a spoilery discussion about the book. And then I have some clips. I recorded myself while I was reading the book at certain times, so you'll see like my live reactions to certain scenes and discoveries, and you can freak out with me. But anyways, I hope you enjoy, and I'll just kind of let you know when the spoiler stuff starts and begins and all that good stuff. So at the end of Clockwork Prince, we know that Jem and Tessa are engaged. How do I feel about that? You'll see. We also know that Will is not cursed. We know that, you know, he's in love with Tessa as well. But he's not cursed, and he told Tessa, you know, how he felt, and Jem has no idea that he is in love with her as well. And then at the end of Clockwork Prince, Cecily arrives. I think that's how you say her name, which is Will's sister, and so we know that's going to be kind of exciting and fun. But in this book, Clockwork Princess, we have Mortman's back, and we know he needs this like one last piece of puzzle so that he can make his infernal devices kind of indestructible, and he needs Tessa for this. And we still also know that he like wanted to marry Tessa, I guess. So anyways, he's just trying to get a hold of Tessa. And we have, you know, beautiful Will and Jem, who are willing to pretty much go through everything to save Tessa. But with Mortman, he's a pretty, like, strategic man, you know what I mean? So we find out that he has set up a lot of things way far in advance about Tessa and her own life and, you know, where she comes from. So we get to figure that out. Okay, so here's a discussion of some of the spoiler-free things that I got out of this. So I really enjoyed just like the brotherly bond that we get from Gabriel and Gideon, who are the Lightwoods. And I really like how you kind of see how this one brother has like a relationship that's so tied to his father, and he wants to keep these family ties intact, and it's kind of brings up the question of should you follow your family if, you know, they're wrong and you know that they're wrong. And then I started to realize that there's a trend with Cassandra Clare because she's just really good at building these like bonds between siblings. So I also loved the relationship between Cecily and Will as well. It was so cute. It was very realistic, and I can just see her like being a nagging sister kind of, and then just like knowing that he really loves and wants to protect her. So I love that in there. And then even though they're not brothers, like the Magnus and Will relationship, I love it. I love how she explains it. It's explained like really well about how Magnus feels about Will, and I'm not going to tell you how he feels about him. But I really just liked how their relationship grows in this book as well. And then I should tell you, I think I already mentioned it, but I definitely started off this series and before this book as a Tessa and Will shipper. So I do have to say that I did like the relationship between Jem and Tessa in this book. I definitely gained more respect for Jem, so I did kind of see how Jem and Tessa fit together. But I was also like really pining for Will, and I pretty much felt bad for him through like most of this book. But it gets better. So that's gonna be the end of the kind of just non-spoilery part. I'm sorry there's not like that much. I can tell you that there is a lot of action in the book. There's a lot of really good building of relationships between characters, both platonic and romantic. I love that we get to see Tessa use her ability a little bit more in this book. I feel like in Clockwork Prince it's not really used a lot, and I'm like, this is such a huge part of Tessa, so I really like that we get to see it used a lot more in this book. Another non-spoiler thing, I really like the empowering women in this novel. Like I know you see it in the City of Bone series with Isabel and her mom, but like in this one you like really see women taking charge, especially Charlotte, who we know from the last book is pregnant now. Like holy shit, you're running an institute and you're pregnant? Like you are from the heavens and you're all powerful. And obviously just like Tessa, and then Sophie, holy crap, I am just loving Sophie in this book. And then even Cecily. I feel like all the women in this book are just like really great. I really started to gain a lot of respect, I know, for Henry's character, and I really am starting to like him as one of my favorites. But yeah, that's the non-spoilery part. But now here is the spoiler section. Couple things. This is not going to be out of order because I just can't do this in order. I just needed to like spill my thoughts to you. This is kind of like in regards to, even though I like how well Cassandra Clare builds on the relationships between characters, I found that I was a little disappointed in how many romantic relationships had to happen. I feel like there could have been room for just platonic relationships, particularly between Cecily and Gabriel. And again, this might be because of the time period, but I just kind of felt like both Sophie and Cecily, like they just fall for the guy that likes them first. And even though like you see their relationship grow and you could see like how they can be together with the guys, both Gideon and Gabriel, I just felt like there got to a point where in like every other chapter there's some romantic relationship going on between people, and I just wanted some of them to just be friends, you know, like there's other people out there. I don't know. I really enjoyed Sophie and Gideon's relationship, but I think that maybe one of them could be cut out, particularly Cecily and Gabriel. Another thing I wanted to discuss is Will's gift. So we know that throughout the books, I can't remember if it starts in Clockwork Angel or Clockwork Prince, but we know that he can talk to ghosts. So he talks to old May, Miss May. He talks to some older lady ghost that he like gets some Yinfen, that he gets something for Magnus from. And then the only other ghost that he actually talks to is Jessamine at the end of Clockwork Princess. And while I think it's a cool gift, I just feel like it's not used enough. Like it kind of seems like it doesn't need to be there. And I enjoyed both the scenes like that he has with these ghosts, but it just, like I said, it just doesn't seem necessary because he didn't really use it to his advantage. Like I don't know if it's gonna come up in a future book or not. And like spoiler, like I'm already in the spoiler section, but we know that he's dead now. Unless like he comes back and the next book kind of like goes back in time. I don't really see how that contributed to the story at all. And then we have this like interweaving plot with the consul trying to kick Charlotte out of the institute, which I feel like kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't get like any instance that the consul didn't like Charlotte before this book, and I feel like part of the reason it's in here is to show that Gabriel and Gideon are like both trustworthy guys because they go against the consul. But I mean, even the consul could have like made up lies, I feel like, about Charlotte. Like what would make everyone else on the council trust Gabriel and Gideon's word? That just made no sense to me. And the thing is, I feel like you don't even understand, like, you don't get to understand what the consul even wanted. Like, did he want certain laws in place? Or did he want, like, rules enacted? Or did he want, like, something specific run differently? Like, he doesn't even ask Charlotte to change something she's doing. Like, what is she actually doing wrong? You know, it's like talking about how he kind of wants to be in charge, and that's why he put his, like, nephew in there. But what the hell does he actually want? Also, does anyone else, I mean, like, I get it, because they're the Dark Sisters. What is it, Mrs. Black and Mrs. Stark? Or Mrs. Black and something, whatever. At some point, like, I just didn't care, and they just blended into the same person. I don't know which one's head fell off. I don't know which one had that thing fall on them, and I just don't remember which one was which, and I feel like that's maybe because their names were kind of the same. But I just didn't stick in my head, and they're just the same person, so I guess they're both gone. That's great. Let's see. I do have to mention that as an animal rights person, I like that Will is like worried about the well-being of his horse, and he's like, I need to get to Tessa, but my horse needs a break, and so I really like that. Okay, there's one thing that I had like a huge issue with in this book, and that is the fact that Will and Tessa basically have sex. And it makes it seem like it's just because they're not, like, they're gonna die the next day. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you have like bottled up like, you know, romantic and sexual emotions like when you think you're gonna die, sure, yeah. But like, it didn't need to make it seem like that was the only reason that they would have like done it together. And I just wanted it to be because she loved him, you know, and he loved her. And so, I mean, I have been waiting for this. I had been waiting for this for 3 books. So I wanted to be like overly excited when this was happening. But I just feel like they didn't. I don't know. It was just sad because you knew about Jem, and it was sad because it was like, I just need to touch someone for the last time before we die, instead of like, you know what, I just really love you and I want to just have sex with you because I love you, you know? I absolutely love that we like find out about Aloysius, how do you say that? But I love finding out that he is Tessa's grandfather. Like, it came together really cool figuring out like how she was switched with this other child. But I also had an issue with this as well because essentially I know that it's like a demon that took the place of her father and pretended to be her father and have sex with her mother, and that is rape. And I don't know like how it's dealt with in the Shadowhunter world. I don't know if there are like laws with that. But I just felt like it was kind of passed over, and I didn't, it's not that I expected, you know, this young adult book to really like delve deep into that matter, but I feel like Tessa should have I feel like Tessa should have taken it like a little harder, or like kind of, I wish there was a discussion somewhere about how she felt about, you know, her mom being taken advantage of like that. Or maybe like it could have had a great scene like with the conversation between Charlotte and her. I just felt like there was a missed opportunity, and like, I almost wanted to like track down this damn demon and kill it. Then another thing, we find out that Jem is taking like double his yin fen, and I'm so angry at this point because I'm like, he tells Tessa that like he's giving her extra life, and then at the end of book 2, I was so naive. I'm too naive. I was like, maybe he is drawing strength from love, you know, like maybe that's a thing. You know, he's like drawn from her energy and he's feeling so much better and he doesn't need that shit anymore. And then we find out he's taking double, and it's like literally all gone, like what, 6 months of it or something? And oh man, I was so mad. I'm so mad at Jem at this point. Like, Jem, what the hell are you doing? I also have to say that I kind of like mentioned this in the spoiler-free part, but I love Henry's character. I love that there's like a shadow hunter that is not like the typical shadow hunter. He's just himself, and he's really into like what he does, and he's passionate about something other than being a shadow hunter. Like, we can be passionate about being humans, but like you do something else. I mean, I guess Jem has like his music playing and Will has kind of like some poetry, but I just feel like Henry is one of my favorite characters now, and I am so glad that he's alive. Like, when you go back and look at my reaction video, I don't know he's alive yet, and I freak out a little bit. Then, I don't know if you've read the City of Bones series, but the fact that Will has like the pale white star on his body now, like, there's a connection there, and I was like, that's so cool that he was like touched by an angel, and it just relates back to City of Bones. So that was something that was really neat to read about in there. Oh, we also have to talk about pretty much like the moment that changed my views on my shipping. So we skip ahead from like Will and Tessa's life because he's died of old age, and I wasn't expecting that. I was kind of like, where is the rest of everything? Like, what? I want to see Will and Tessa together, but he dies. But then I feel like I like go for characters when I think that they can't be together. I didn't know that they could be together. So when Jem and Tessa meet up like on that one day a year at the last time, and he's not a silent brother anymore. Like, what the heck? He's not a silent brother, and he can speak again, and what the hell? He's cured. He is cured of this disease and of the like yin fen addiction, I guess. And he tells her that he has, you know, loved her all this time, and she's been wearing his necklace, and I understand now. I understand now why people are like Tessa and Jem shippers. I feel like you have to have read the whole series to like, I had to read the whole series to like get to that point, and I still love Will and Tessa. Like, up until this point I'm a Will and Tessa shipper, but how can you just not want them to be together at this point? And I feel like he's gonna be immortal. Something's gonna happen where they can just live together forever, because it's not gonna happen to her again where he just dies. Yeah, the ending where she just asks him to like come with her, and so good. Yeah, but like, hallelujah, I am excited for the one coming after this. I have decided though that even after I mean I really enjoy the series, I've officially decided that I am a bigger fan of the Mortal Instruments series. So I do like the Mortal Instruments series better, and I don't know if that's just because I've had the opportunity to stay with those characters longer, but I just feel like I think part of it's that I think part of it's that I'm not like a huge fan of the older time period. I've just never been a fan of that. And then, you know, like, some things are hard to grasp for me, like the fact that people go into marriage so quickly, or like some of the cheesy things they say, and I loved like how it fit into this book. But I'm a City of Bones, I'm a Mortal Instruments fan over Infernal Devices. But I'm super excited to start the next one when it comes out in 2018, and I'm glad to finally like be on the bandwagon again. It's taken me so long to catch up and get to this point in the series, and now when the next book comes out, like, I will be there. I'm gonna have a party, and I'm gonna be at the release and everything. So thank you so much for watching. I'll go ahead and insert the clips of like me reacting to the book, so you can just kind of like re-react and freak out with me. But thanks for watching. Okay, can we please just take a little moment of pause because I'm in the middle of Clockwork Princess, like the very end of chapter 10. I knew it. I knew the minute that Will was telling Magnus that he loved Tessa that Jem could hear it. I was like, I know he can hear you somewhere in there. I didn't expect him to like talk to him and confront him about it like while he was sick and laying in bed and just wakes up and grabs his arm, but I knew he heard it. So I just got to the part where Jem is telling Charlotte that his biggest regret, what did he say? You carry with you one of my few regrets. And he's talking about her child. Like, so sad. And like, now he's kind of okay with like Will and Tessa. I want Will and Tessa to be together, so I like feel bad about it now. And yeah, and now he's just telling them to stop looking for the cure, and I actually have not, I don't think I've been spoiled yet. Like, I thought that I'd heard that Jem was gonna die, but then I like accidentally saw part of like the end for the next book. Look at my cat. Cora. Anyways, I saw like a part in the end, like when they have like a preview for the other books, because I was looking at how many pages it was, and it was like, Will, Tessa, and Jem story returns in 2018 or something. So I don't know, maybe he does live. So I'm kind of glad I'm not spoiled, but I'm also like, I want to know what's gonna happen. Like, tell me now. I'm just curious, did anyone else start to just skip over like the odes or the songs that Bridget was singing, that like Cook or whatever? There's a point where like, I know some of them were talking about like, oh, Sweet William, and I like at some point expected them to kind of like mirror what was going on, and maybe they kind of were, and I just didn't feel the need to pay that much attention to them. I was just like, Bridget is annoying. Is that her name, Bridget? Yeah, Bridget. She's just annoying me so much in this story. Like, I feel like there's no point for her to be here. And then I guess, like, I forgot the fact that she was trained, because they got trained, like, maids once they lost their other ones. But, like, when she, like, randomly came out and fought in the battle on the front steps, I was like, who is this Bridget girl? Like, when did she become of actual use? I just don't like her. Okay, wait a minute. I only read like 5 more pages. But they're actually like summoning the Silent Brothers to have him die. What? Hello? I like knew that, I like just figured that he would maybe like pass, but now they're like actually giving up and gonna summon the Silent Brothers? Like, what in the hell? No. Someone is seriously gotta be shitting me. Is he actually dead? Like, I've like, I don't skim ahead, I just like, I've like, this is what I do, you know, this like, go like this, basically, and I don't see Jem's name in there. I'm assuming that Jem is gonna come back to life somehow. He's faking it or something. Maybe like Magnus did a spell where he made it seem like Jem was sleeping, but he's not. And you know, because Magnus made that promise to find the cure before, you know, Jem told us to call off the cure. So there's gotta be some way in hell that Jem is gonna come back to life. Even though I want Will and Tess to be together, it's like, how can they be together if Jem is dead now? Now everything's sad and it's wrong. It's currently 5 a.m. and Jem's dead. You know, I just told you that. I don't know if I should keep reading now. Like, I don't know if I can go on. And now Will is just hurting and it's so sad. And Tessa doesn't know, and I just realized that Will had passed Tessa. Oh my god, Will is like retching on the ground right now. He's bleeding. So I just got home from work about an hour ago. And let me just tell you, I picked the wrong time to be reading what it was. Because I got to the point where Will found Tessa and then he tells her about Jem. And then I just started crying at work on break. It wasn't like a huge thing of tears, but I was like, man, there are definitely like a couple drops. And it was just like, it was almost sadder than when Jem died, when like Will is just pouring his heart out to Tessa about, you know, his parabatai dying, and that's her love. And then I'm just sad because I'm like, I just like both of them together, and now they're both sad. So yeah, that happened. That happened today. I'm sorry, Jem is a silent brother? What? Who decided that was a good idea? I just don't know. Just like, why? Like, is it bad that I'd almost rather him be dead? Like, thinking of him in this state, like, and then he's talking, which I don't understand. He's like talking in his head, but also out loud. Like, I thought they like closed up your mouth. And then it just, like, why couldn't he just be like a vampire or something? Like, the whole point that I liked him was because, you know, he shows that he really loved Tessa. But, like, you can't even be married when you're a silent brother. Like, I just don't like the thought of it at all. Henry is dead, I think. Yeah, he's dead. He's definitely dead. But that was so unnecessary. Like, I think that Henry could have been such a great character to, like, keep throughout the series. Like, I just think how many things he could have invented. I know he wasn't the best inventor, but he invented the fucking portal, and then you just kill off Henry? Like, Henry should be in the team. Henry should be in the Alive team, and that was a wrong move. I don't know what is going on. Calvin, you are sitting on my book right now. How am I supposed to read The Clockwork Princess? We have finished the city. No, we haven't. We finished The Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare.